Welcome, everybody, to What's Up Bull Time. Fernando Ramirez. Thank you guys so much for joining us on an early day. I know it's early. It's 1 p.m., but this was the only time that our special guest could jump on. Yes, we are going to be having Eric D. Williams on the show from Fox Sports. He is going to be jumping on, talking all things Chargers, talking his bet with Dan and Daygo. So make sure you guys tune into all that. We're going to be breaking down the Chargers versus Broncos. They face each other on Thursday. Basically in a couple more than in about 24 hours. So make sure you guys are tuned in. All right, let's go with the intro.
Compas on the beat. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. So where's Compas?
Yeah, we are.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
Some guy that seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on, Gilbert. Let's go.
Come on. Dan and Daygo is at Moe's.
I'll show you. I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's pretty much it. Couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7th-rounder. So
Freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
Welcome to Compas or to What's Up Bolts. I am Fernando Ramirez. You guys aren't here to listen to me. You guys want to listen to these next two individuals that I'm about to bring on. First, you know him, you love him. He is a 3-time CIF champion. He is the man, the myth, the legend, Dan and Dave.
Hit me with it. Hit me with it, baby.
Dan, I'm sorry.
Got it going.
This is all about you, but we got to bring in our very special guest.
Yeah, hit the
He
music.
works
That's
for-
what I'm waiting for.
He
Hit the
works-
music.
He works for Fox Deportes. He is the man, the myth, the legend. You know him. We love him. He is our compa. I think this has been, Dan, a 10-year relationship now with this guy.
Wow, that's as
So,
long as my
I'm-
barber.
I know.
Shout out.
Time flies. Let's get him in here. Eric D. Williams.
Step up, bring it.
I'm not even gonna lie. You
Williams.
might have a better song than I do, Eric. That's pretty badass.
That's lit, as the kids say.
I'll take
where-
that.
Where's the jewelry at, though? I saw the 3 fingers, but I didn't see the rings that go.
Oh,
on the
they
finger.
haven't gotten fitted yet, my guy. I still
Okay.
have the 2 from a player, but those don't fit anymore. But
Yes.
we haven't gotten fitted yet. Trust me. As soon as I get it, I'm gonna rub it in Hilberto's face. That guy only knows second place or less, dude.
I expect nothing less from you, Daniel.
Exactly.
Uh,
Using my government name.
Eric, a big game coming up on Thursday. Chargers, Broncos. Actually, as we are talking right now, the Chargers injury report just dropped. Out Will Dissly and Cam Hart. Doubtful safety Elijah Molden. Questionable Denzel Perryman, Otito Ogbanya, Sion Johnson, Hayden Hurst. So that means that Justin Herbert is off the injury report and he will play. Short week. We all know how that goes. First off, Eric, your impressions of Thursday, because it's a big one. It's a very big game. What are your impressions of the game?
Like you said, it's a big game, almost a must-win game, I feel, for the Chargers if they want to have a realistic opportunity. Well, I shouldn't say realistic, have a good opportunity to reach the postseason. If they get this victory, they get the tiebreaker over the Broncos, would give them the season sweep, would put them in pretty good shape to just go ahead and win out the rest of the way based on how their schedule sits. But it's coming off of, I think, their poorest performance of the year when you look at how they played against the Bucs, a team I thought that they were going to beat. But the Bucs handled them pretty easily in the second half based on how Baker was able to play and based on not covering Mike Evans, which was a head scratcher. Concerns for me, I know the defense gave up 40 points, but for me, really, it's the offense because the defense was on the field for long stretches because the offense couldn't control, couldn't control the football. They couldn't run it. So it has me questioning, what's going on up front in terms of clearing out running lanes for the other running backs that are in the game. And then you have to protect Justin Herbert better than they're doing right now. It's one of the reasons that he is dinged up is because he's getting hit so much, and you can't run the full complement of your offense in terms of him being able to run the football because of Justin being injured. So interested to see what offensive coordinator Greg Roman's going to do differently in terms of protections, in terms of running the football against a pretty good Denver defense.
And that's why I put on here Greg Roman needs an offensive masterpiece in a sense, because if not, that's it's going to be a tough game against, like you said, Denver has a good pass rush. They have a great defense. Van Joseph, we all know, is very good at what he does, and they have Patrick Surtain, and they have some other weapons on that defensive side of the ball. What do you think of some guy? Jawzier Taylor needs to be chained to the bench tomorrow next to Pipkins.
That's hilarious. Uncle Jam's Army.
Eric, why do you feel like the offense has struggled so much this season? I mean, it's not just because, everybody knows that they have Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. Herbert still, I think he's been sacked 38 times, which is the most since his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been getting hit. He's had injuries. Why do you feel like this offense hasn't been able to kind of take off the way maybe Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman were hoping?
Well, I think it's a number of different things. I think the most obvious thing is the lack of playmakers on the perimeter. Lad McConkey and Quentin played better as the season has wore on, but I still think they lack a true number one on the perimeter. And so I think that's part of the issue, not only on the perimeter, but just playmakers that can create explosive plays in general. I like J.K. Dobbins as a player, but I think they could add another running back that could create more explosive plays in the passing game, like you had when Eckler was here and in his prime. They don't really have a running back like that, like what Will Disley has done in the passing game. But he's not Antonio Gates. A few people are.
No.
So, but you do need. Look what Bowers is doing for the Raiders in terms of their passing game. So it would be nice to have a playmaking tight end. So it's just they're in the year one of this rebuild. The roster isn't where they want it to be, and they're experiencing injuries, which all NFL teams do. And so now you have backups that are being asked to play meaningful minutes in meaningful games that you need to win. They're just dealing with the effects of that the strain that injuries put on your roster at the end of the year. And in order to overcome that, you have to figure out schematically how to put the guys that are going to be healthy make plays. And so we'll see if they're able to do that. I think one last thing, I don't know if you saw Kurt Warner's video on social media. He kind of broke down what was happening in terms of pass protection. It doesn't seem like enough guys are getting out into routes so that Herbert has options, when they do throw the football. So, I think some of it is schematics as well.
Yeah, sometimes they have Tucker Fisk and Scott Madlock like in pass cover, or they're blocking, but there's only like two actual
2-man route, 3-man route.
Yeah, but when it comes to that,
yeah,
my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sorry. I'll real quick. And then when they were in the red zone, they had Tucker Fisk and Scott Madlock go on seam routes, and I'm like, dude, like nobody's buying that. Either guy is going to be able to do anything, so that kind of takes away from what you're able to do. But go ahead, Dan.
No, I was going to say part of it, I understand trying to keep guys into pass pro,
sure,
but the problem is they get beat like a drum also. So then you have two guys out for routes, while two guys get dominated inside, and really it just defeats the whole purpose. At that point, just spread them out and try and get people open as fast as possible. I agree with you guys. Sometimes, I think Roman does do head-scratching things where you're I still don't understand. Sometimes he likes to go heavy, and I'm like, you don't have the horses to go heavy. If your inside three are your weakest links, and you want to put more pressure on them by stacking the box and loading it, that to me just sometimes is just a head scratcher for me, honestly. And again, part of the other thing is, our good friend Sir Eric said, these guys aren't playmakers. Some of them just can't get separation either. Like you'll know this, Eric, being a receiver, there's nothing worse in my mind than some of these guys who will get a catch and then the rest of the game you never see him again. Like that also is super killer. Like he can't even distribute the football because these guys can't get separation on a consistent basis.
So I'll add on to what you said. I totally agree. It doesn't make sense to play heavy if you can't protect anyway with 8-man protection. So you might as well go ahead and go 4 wide or 5 wide to spread the defense out so you have options and you can see them pre-snap. The other thing is they're pretty static as an offense. They don't do a lot of motioning pre-snap to get guys in advantageous situations pre-snap. So I'd like to see more motion pre-snap to change the picture of the defense and kind of get them on their heels. And then along with that, I think they need to run a little bit more empty formations so they can get the ball out quicker. And then I think they need to play with a little more tempo and pace. I know they don't want to play fast because they're playing from a defensive mindset and they're trying to shrink the game. But if you can't run the football effectively and grind out first downs, then you have to figure out a different way to get first downs and to keep the ball so that your defense isn't on the field for the entire game.
I'm going to show Daniel that clip of Kurt Warner. The one that he saw, though, was the Ryan Fitzpatrick clip. Did you see that?
Oh, that guy's an idiot.
I didn't see the Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That guy's an idiot. And he supposedly went to an Ivy League, Eric. You believe that? I went to UCSD, and I probably learned just as much as that Ivy League dumbass over there on the East Coast. It's unbelievable, dude. Really, the type of narrative these people pick and try and roll with.
So let's see the clip. Let's see the clip.
Okay, Dan, you can tell him and let me pull it up.
I was going to tell you, where was I going? And then he interrupted me.
My bad.
No, not you. I meant my brother. But then the other thing is too. Oh, that's what I was going to get at.
A little early to be getting CTE, Daniel.
No, I don't know why. Like recently, for whatever reason, how long the season went and everything else. I've been living day to day, so without practice being in my routine. Now I'm like, oh, what the hell's going on? What am I doing? Where am I going? Yeah, look at this jackass.
Herbert. I'm going to do a deep dive this week on the film because he's so confusing to me. Everybody has anointed him already because he looks the part. He's a beautiful man. He gets his hair cut at sports.
That's so weird. He
still looks great. He's only thrown 2 picks this year. And that's the narrative. Oh, he doesn't make mistakes. But he plays super conservative and careful. We're looking at Josh Allen, Lamar, Burrow, Baker, Hurts, Jared Goff. They all have 30-plus touchdowns, and some of those guys approaching 40 this year. And Herbert, in 14 games, has accounted for 18 touchdowns. You sit there, and the sacks always pile up on him. When they get behind in games, I don't feel like he's the kind of guy that's going to bring him back and hasn't showed it a ton this year. The other frustrating thing about Justin for me is he's so athletic. I don't think you can question his toughness. I think there still are questions maybe about his leadership ability. I want to take a deeper dive into the film because statistically, the things that he's done in his first 5 seasons are some things that have not been done by many quarterbacks ever in the history of the National Football League. I just want to see him in that category with those guys. He's being paid in that category now. He certainly looks the part. It just seems like there's a little bit of a disconnect somewhere.
You want to talk about this year? All those guys you mentioned have 2 receivers. There are 2 receivers deep. Look, Eric, I got Walmart greeters out there at receiver. Can we go to Target? Can we do that? Can we upgrade a little bit at some point? It's just unbelievable.
Your boy Mahomes has Xavier Worthy and
I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear that name.
Old DeAndre Hopkins.
I don't want to hear that name.
I think Dan would take that. I think Dan would take his weapons and his offensive line.
I would take Antonio Gates.
This is what I took from that. I want to take a deeper look at the film. So he hasn't watched.
Yeah.
So if he hasn't watched, then he can't really comment, to a deeper level onto what's happening with Herbert. And, as somebody that's been to a handful of games and has watched Herbert since he's been with the Chargers, Herbert is going to execute the offense the way that the person that's the offensive coordinator wants it to be executed. So to me, that's why he's only thrown 16 touchdowns, is because he's executing the offense the way that Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh want him to execute it. which is to not take a lot of risk, is to take care of the football. It's to hand the ball off. It's to lean on your defense. They want him to play a certain way. And if I asked him about this, I'm going to write about it, kind of, the risk taking and whether or not he's taking throws in order to make plays. And I think the statistics kind of speak to that. He's the opposite of Phillip. Phillip was a gunslinger. He's going to try to fit the ball into a thimble 40 yards down the field.
Yeah.
Even though it's probably impossible for him to do that. Phillip's going to take that chance and make the throw. And then all of a sudden it's pick six and the band's, revving up for the other team.
Yeah.
But I don't
I've seen too many of those.
I don't think that it's not necessarily that Justin Herbert isn't built to do that. I just think that he is a coachable guy that's going to try to satisfy what his coach is asking him to do. And I feel like Harbaugh and Roman are asking him to play conservatively and not to give the game away to the other team.
Like, it's crazy to me that on now in the NFL where we are, it's a bad thing for a quarterback to only have 2 interceptions. I don't know how that's not a more impressive stat. I don't even know who leads it. It might be everyone's precious Mahomes, but I'm sure they're up there in the double digits now in the year. And it's like, it's unbelievable that this late in the year, he's only thrown 2 picks, and that's a problem. The 18 touchdowns, I can tell you what it is. Again, he doesn't have receivers out there running routes. Half of the time, he doesn't know if they're going to catch it or not, and he still has to sling it to these guys. I don't know what more this man could do really to earn some respect. And it's just the slander to me is just unbelievable because, if Herbert ever sees this or his family does, I could be a mouthpiece for him if he needs it. I will go on the shows. I will do the rounds. But I just can't stand it. It pisses me off.
I think the problem is, Daniel, though, is the type of year that guys like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are having. I mean, Lamar has, I think, 34 touchdowns and 3 picks. I think Josh Allen has 39 total touchdowns and he has 5 interceptions. And so you look at those kind of video game numbers and we look at Herbert's talent. And I think we feel, I feel that it's on the level of those guys. And so that kind of production. And then you look at his stats and you're not seeing that. And so that leads to comments like your boy from Harvard made.
This guy's an idiot. But my thing is sure, I understand on paper, you'll have an opinion, but stats lie, right? What do those guys have that Herbert does not? Herbert, or those 2 guys you mentioned, Jackson and
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Both of them have a running game. Whether Josh Allen is himself, Lamar's is himself, they have a running game. They have better weapons around them. And on top of that, they've had the same head coach throughout their whole career. Everyone forgets Herbert's on his 3rd head coach. He's on his 4th or 5th coordinator.
Yes.
He's not a coach killer. That's not the issue. It's just the franchise around him has had no stability. And they've only brought in guys. Well, actually, I won't name, but I've liked one of them or 2 of them. But, they brought guys who are out before the, 5th year, 4th year, whatever it is. So it's like, I don't understand how, the one thing I will give credit to was it, who was it for out that, was it Kellen Moore who got the most out of DeAndre Carter? Or was that Lombardi?
No, that was Lombardi.
I think that's been the only problem where I'll give people a little bit more credit towards kind of their gripes against Roman. I don't know if he's making the most out of what he has around him because, I still don't understand.
He can, but Quentin Johnston has 8 touchdowns. He's playing a lot better than he did last year.
Brown, tell me how big that guy is. He's 6'6", isn't he?
No, he's 6'2", 6'3".
He looks like a big guy, dude.
No, he's not that big. Well, he is big, but he's not that big.
He's got 8 touchdowns, Brown.
The
Okay,
problem
I got it.
We all know this. Josh Palmer's always been like this. 1 or 2 catches.
Yeah, and he's gone.
And before, there were big catches because he had Keenan Allen and Mike Williams kind of take the attention away. That's the problem. The Chargers don't have an attention getter. They don't have a guy that's going to pull all the attention of a defense. Herbert's the guy that pulls the attention of the defense.
No one scares him.
You don't have a tight end. You don't have a receiver. You don't have a running back. So that's what Eric's saying. That's the biggest issue is that they just don't have guys. But again, Eric spoke about this. I've spoken about this. Gilbert has. I know we're not allowed to mention him on here. Gilbert's spoken about this. A lot of
don't act like I have some like barred words from
I
here.
know.
Eric's
I
gonna think
know.
I'm soft.
I know. I don't want your employer to get mad at you.
Shut
but-
up. He doesn't employ me. I work for myself.
but we've all said it is that the first year was going to be playing with house money. You're going to see what you have. Jim and Greg and Joe Ortiz and well, no, never mind. They'll evaluate what they have, and then they're going to say, okay, we want these many players, and the rest of them can leave. That's exactly what
100%.
they're doing, because the offensive line,
100%.
like you said, the inside is bad. By the way, Trey Smith is a free agent after this year, the guard from the all-pro guard from the Chiefs. You have to cut, like you said on Sunday on the pod, you have to cut the fat off of this and get the guy. So that's exactly what the Chargers are doing. They're cutting the fat. They're seeing what they have, what they need, and what they need for the future. So it's year one. And Eric, that's the one thing we've been trying to do for the last few weeks. Like, a lot of fans are like, they get frustrated. And I'm like, dude, there's still a lot to go. You're barely a couple months into Harbaugh and Ortiz, and people are already frustrated. I'm like, just let it roll, let it ride, just hang out. Like when we do, Eric, when we go to the games, we roll down the windows, we're playing Christmas music, we're waking up to SoFi. But I mean, you kind of have to think that that's the way fans need to relax, don't you? I mean,
no, I don't. Fans short for fanatic. So
no, I know. Yeah, but I mean, Dan's patient.
I agree to the extent that, look, I mean, if they do get into the playoffs, anything can happen.
Yeah,
you know, all it takes is to just win one game and
lucky
just try to
bounce
build off that. Yeah, I mean, so why not dream big? How many years are you going to have with Justin Herbert? Like, there's a limited amount of years that you're going to have this quarterback. So why not make the most of it and do the most you can to win now and not be always building towards next year? That, you know, I've been covering the Chargers for 10 years. Yeah. And that's always been like the motto. Like, there's always next year. Like, screw that. Like, let's try to win now. Yeah, it's the first year of the rebuild, and I understand that part of it. Trying to figure out their identity and all that good stuff. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the expectation is if you have a quarterback of Herbert's caliber, you're not only going to reach the playoffs, but you're going to win some games once you get there. And so you need to build your team accordingly to give Herbert and the rest of the team the best opportunity to win.
Dan?
I need them to figure out, Eric. I don't know how many more years I can go doing this shit like this. Like, I don't know how much more blood we have to pay. We've paid enough. I've already seen the Broncos do it. I've seen these bastards do it. I think it's my turn. Is that too much to ask for?
I don't think it is. I mean,
all I need is one. I'm not
Dan. Like I told you, next year is the WWE angle of it. They're going to be in San Francisco, the place where he was the head coach, the stadium that he built.
Why don't we go 2 for 2? He lost in New Orleans. Go back, get redemption.
Yeah.
Next year, go back to the house that you built.
And then the year after that, it's in LA.
There you go.
Okay.
A little three-peat.
Yeah. Dan, as of Jeremy Fowler just said, Chiefs confident Mahomes can go.
I hope so.
On Saturday.
I hope he goes. I hope he goes the rest of the season. I hope. Who do they play this weekend?
Houston.
I hope Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter just get after it. I hope Greg Williams is in the building or his go so he can get them kind of fired up, let's just say. Get after it.
Eric, Blue Dream has guys, if you guys have any questions for Eric, please throw them in the chat. Don't be dumb. Just be legit questions. He's asking, can you have Eric explain from his time covering the team before why he thinks Pipkins is still getting playing time in place of anybody else? And we all know Pipkins got moved from tackle to right guard.
I just feel like he's their best option right now, and that's why he's playing.
Scary thought.
At some point they're probably going to move on from him. He's also a guy that has some versatility. Obviously, and he's played a lot of snaps, so they're going to ride him for now. And it is what it is.
The parts
Unfortunately,
that's crazy to me too is that he could have so much potential because he's a big guy. Like he's bigger, I think,
Athletic.
at guard. Yeah, he's bigger than Sawyer, and I think he's bigger than Zion over there.
Mhm.
And like he just has nothing. He has lead in his ass. He can't move, can't hold his ground. Like it's just crazy to me. Like that's a perfect build. You know what I mean? Like he looks like a monster, and then he just gets out there, and I'm like, my God.
I don't know if he's a great fit at guard though, based on his prototype, and I don't think he was necessarily known as a run blocker. Usually, you want your guards inside.
It wasn't even a pass blocker either at tackle. I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, he had the athletic traits for a pass blocker. That's why they drafted him in the 3rd round, because they thought that they could develop him when they took him. So I understand why they made the selection. That's why he's still in the league, because of those athletic traits. But at some point, you have to get the production.
Yeah, hasn't done it.
Eric, Angel is wondering, why do you think Greg Roman has gone away from what he's known for, which is running the football?
It hasn't been effective. I think that's why he's gone away from it. And that's been the head scratching thing for me, because they were so effective running the football in the first half of the year. And it can't just be that J.K. Dobbins is hurt. I know Disley has been dinged up as well, and he's a pretty good, run blocking tight end. But schematically, they just haven't been able to get things going. I believe they're running the ball 33% of the time. Over the last couple games, it was closer to 50% of running the football. But they have to get back to that, because that was really their identity. When they were effective on offense, they were able to churn 3, 4, 5 yards. And then in the second half of games, they're able to spring more explosive gains and then kind of put teams away. And so, I don't know if Gus Edwards is the guy. I don't know if Vidal's the guy that you want to give the ball more. But they have to at least get 100 yards on the ground to create some balance.
Eric, Uncle Jam's Army is asking if you feel like Greg Roman is the right OC for a quarterback as talented as Herbert.
I think he is for now. But I think, as you've seen, he's kind of worn out his welcome over time with stops in Baltimore and with the Buffalo Bills. And so his ability to adjust in the passing game and to create more innovative, creative ways to move the football in year 2 and year 3, I feel like that's how he's going to be judged. Because when you have a talented quarterback like Herbert, you have to do better than what you're doing right now in the passing game. Some of that obviously is on Herbert. Some that is on the OC as well.
Eric, Robert is asking, why do you think when Herbert is getting blitzed, Roman doesn't call screens?
I don't know, but I wish he would, because that is certainly a way that you could alleviate some pressure from your quarterback, whether it's screens, slants, get that
Just
quick
quick
passing
passes.
game.
Yeah,
Get that quick passing going and get the ball out of his hands quickly. And like we talked about, maybe some 4 or 5 wide formations instead of running heavier personnel, which, I know Greg is more comfortable running that heavy personnel because he's had so much success over the years, doing that in terms of the running game. But I'm interested to see, what kind of changes he's going to make against, a team that we talked about in Denver that's going to bring it. I think they lead the league in sacks with 58. The pressure's coming, and I'm interested to see how he's going to deal with it
on a short week. Angel asked a good question, but an interesting question, but I'm gonna kind of there would be no
the heat's on Roman, man.
That's what I'm telling you. Like there's a lot. I don't think after 1 year he would get rid of him, Jim. I think it would take another year.
Boys anyway. Yeah, they're
no,
boys
I know,
anyway.
but I think it would take another year of struggling for an offense for him to do anything. But yeah, what do you think of this question? He said, let's just say they do move on from Greg Roman. Who would replace him?
Oh, he's already replacing Roman.
Yeah. See, I told you when we were on our way up to the Bucks game, I said I thought he was going to come in with 2 young coordinators and go the Jesse Minter and maybe do a younger OC, right, and kind of get them going. Because we all know Greg Roman doesn't have an opportunity to become a head coach. Like his time has passed. He's been here for years. There's no
He's already writing his eulogy. You hear that?
no.
Oh my
No, I'm just
God.
being realistic. That's the way the NFL moves. Like,
Well, I think that.
Go ahead.
No, my bad.
No. Talk.
I was gonna say. Oh, my bad. I keep interrupting everybody.
Go ahead, Dan.
I was just gonna say, I understand the heat's on him, but I think it's hard really to judge the guy when he has, a makeshift line up front. Zion hasn't really worked out. Bozeman hasn't really worked out. The guard experiment with Pipkins hasn't worked out. And I think you have this is an offense full of 1-year rentals. None of these guys really this is the way I explained it, Eric, of what this year was probably going to go. And again, part of the problem is now you have expectations. Now you have hope. Right. That's what hope's going to pull out of people, where they want results now. And, I think the biggest thing that I said moving forward with the start of the year, this year's a tryout for a lot of these 1-year guys. That's all it is. It's a tryout for the whole roster to see what's going to happen. So, I think if Roman gets the right horses in there, it'll be fine. It'll be better. But I do think sometimes he does do some head scratching things, and then he doesn't adjust or try and change things up, which kind of drives me crazy. But
yeah, I expect him to be back. If they don't bring him back, which I think is unlikely, because like you said, I feel like this is an evaluation year in terms of just figuring out, what you want to run schematically and guys that you want to keep and guys that you want to move on from. You could, try to find somebody from the Shanahan McVay tree and run something similar.
There you go.
Teams in the league. Again, I don't know who that would be, who would be available. So I think it depends on, what happens in the coaching carousel and what coaches move on and who pops loose and is available. You have to look at past relationship with Harbaugh and guys that he has coached with. Obviously, you're going to look at the Ravens because they've had so many guys from the Ravens come over to the Chargers. Mindset and identity in terms of how Harbaugh wants to run things. So I would think that would be something to look at if you're looking for potential replacements for Roman. But I would be surprised if he's not with the team in 2020.
I would be too. I like Blue Dream's comment right here, by the way. It really is a skeleton Telesco roster. That isn't fair on Roman, so there's some level-headedness. Nick has an interesting one right here. What do you think about this name? Brian Daboll will be free. This guy's already writing the eulogy on his stint in New York, so that definitely would be interesting.
I think that guy can coach, and I think pretty good offensive mind. Has been a head coach, so you bring that with him in terms of being in those situations. Coached at New England, obviously, in Buffalo. I don't hate that. And coach Josh Allen.
Yeah, I was about to say, I like this one too. I like Blue Dream right here. To hell with Daboll. I'd rather find an assistant OC to Ben Johnson that might have his own ideas. I like the way they do offense out there. That they're creative. They pound the rock. They're physical, and they can also be explosive. I think, it's just a jack of all trades out there in Detroit.
What were you going to say, Eric?
Kind of one-on-one. I think he's a unicorn.
Oh, yeah. Ben Johnson. Yeah. That's why I think he's taking his time with trying to find the right head coaching spot, which I don't blame him.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints are signing former Chiefs running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I kind of thought that might be a spot for the Chargers to pick him up at, but obviously they did not go that route. For the Denver Broncos, running back Jaleel McLaughlin, he is out, and cornerback Riley Moss is also out for the Broncos. So
he's been banged up.
Yeah, but he's pretty good for them, isn't he?
He is. But I think he's been hurt, over the last couple weeks, I believe.
Eric, Robert is asking you, and last final things, and we appreciate you jumping on with us. He said, Eric, is this the worst Chargers offense you've seen? If not, what year was worse?
This is not the worst. Trying to go back to the memory
2014 when Rivers got sacked 7 times against
it's probably with his boy.
14 was pretty bad.
It's probably with his boy.
The year after 18 when they had that deep playoff run, they were pretty bad that year as well.
Oh yeah.
When they finished like 5-12 or something.
Yeah, that was Phillips last year.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That's when he was turning the ball over a bunch.
Yeah.
think it's so crazy to me again. In 2018 was one of the best chances we had to win a Super Bowl, and we had no offensive linemen, no defensive linemen, and no linebackers. Like, it's just crazy.
You had 2 Pro Bowlers on the O-line in 18.
Who? Okung?
Yeah.
and
Okung and who? Pouncey?
and
yeah.
the
I
center.
think they both went to the Pro Bowl there.
Yeah,
they
but
did.
you had what's his name starting? Tevy. He was a killer. Who else? Can't remember the other 2 guys. It wasn't very good. It wasn't
Michael
very good.
Schofield.
Oh yeah, Schofield was
Let's
better
go.
actually in that stint, but not
Let's
good
go.
enough.
Huh?
And the left guard was Feeney. No, not Feeney.
No,
Oh
Feeney
yeah, it
was
might have been
probably-
Dan Feeney.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Feeney the year after?
Yeah, it might
He
have
was
been the
a
year
center
after
for
then.
sure.
Yeah, that was the year that they got him. The year that they made the playoff run, that draft is when they got him. Eric, what are your thoughts on Bo Nix?
Good player. Been impressed with how he's played the second half of the year. I think he has 20 total touchdowns. It's going to be neck and neck between him and Daniels in terms of, who wins Rookie of the Year. Has done a nice job of throwing on the run. I think that's kind of his superpower, getting outside the pocket, be able to make plays either with his feet or make throws down the field. That said, I mean, he will throw the ball to you. I think we saw that last week with the 3 interceptions. There's going to be some opportunities for the Chargers to bait him into some turnover-worthy plays. Again, I think this game is Chargers just come out and play like they normally do. They don't have to do anything outside of what they're capable of, in my opinion, to win this game.
I was going to tell you something else. Everybody, we got 43 people in here. Eric Williams got us 43 people. Why don't we
Shout
pound
out.
the like button? Please
Right.
pound the like button. Make sure you guys hit that like button. We definitely
There you go.
appreciate it.
Smash it.
Eric, did you already give a prediction for this game?
No. Low scoring game.
Yeah.
2017 Chargers.
I like that. I like that. See, I
Eric-
like it when you pick us. I don't like it when Hilberto does. That's just bad juju's over there.
Eric, have you seen the newest sensation in the NFL social media?
Oh, don't waste his
avenue
time
or
with
no?
this.
I
Don't
haven't.
waste his time with this.
No.
Don't waste his time.
Dan, I would never do that to you.
Everybody has dreams.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah.
Dreams of winning the Super Bowl. Dreams of Santa Claus coming down the chimney with all your favorite toys. But I'm into nightmares. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Heading to Los Angeles to play the number
good.
one
Get this out.
Hold on.
Hold on. Throwing for 268 yards and 4 touchdowns and just rip it on. Guys like Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles. Everybody's complaining about we're not throwing the ball. How about 290 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Pittsburgh Steelers? Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. You go to the Big Apple and play the New York Giants. 5
That's not that hard.
as you get
not
ready
that
for the
hard.
showdown against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I love that guy so much, dude. I joke with Fernando. I'm like, if they get rid of Roman, they got to bring him in. Just bring him in. Bring him in, dude. I want a camera on him at all times, mic'd up. I want to hear those conversations.
Hey,
Bring him in. That would be rating.
he's destined for the WWE. I don't know if he's
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was going to tell you, by the way,
I think if we see him at Radio Row, there's no way we can't get him and Dan to do something together. I think that'd be that'd be the funniest thing ever.
that's must see TV right there.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, he's the best. I was telling them when we first saw those clips, he's leaning into the character now, and I love it. Like, that's just hilarious. As a WWE guy, I'm a huge fan of it. Lean into the character, baby. Just let it rip.
Is he leaning in or falling in?
Oh yeah, he's head over heels. Yeah, he's gone. We don't know. We don't know where he is now. But like I was telling them, like, dude, forget Hard Knocks. Give me Gruden uncensored, going to 32 training camps and coaching a position for a day, or you know what I mean, or something like that. I would love to watch that.
I would be interested in seeing that as well. I mean, despite his transgressions in the past,
The naughty, naughty.
he can coach football, and so
And he's
definitely gonna learn
entertaining.
something.
He's entertaining too. Is the craziest part.
Well, yeah, you hit it. He's a little cray.
Yeah, 100%.
Eric, I would not be a good friend if I let you leave and I don't show you this to get Dan's reaction. The Chargers just posted this on their social media.
Stupid.
You ever want to make a vote with the fans didn't vote for you? As a result, you lost your lawyer job and now you're selling you.
I hate them. I hate this team. I hate this team.
Still,
get this shit off the screen.
We've got kicks that can handle yours.
Get it off the screen. What the hell is this for?
Because this leg's got
This is so stupid.
Don't let these other dealers doink you.
Kick is off the upright again.
What the hell is this?
They're showing other kickers
Who's
missing.
got better kicks than
For
me?
what?
Hold those deals down.
Don't front of these deals. They'll be gone in a second.
This is so
Don't believe me?
stupid.
Ask this satisfied customer.
This is my Quantum Thor motor coach from Cam Dicker. It's done me right.
So go to Chargers.com/vote and send me and my leg to kick for you. And I will not stop making these until you do.
That's for the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
That's for the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
If he wasn't such a good kicker, I'd cut his ass for some stupid shit like that. Are you kidding me? I can't understand why. Well, maybe they get bonuses, Eric. You might know more. Who gives a shit about the Pro Bowl? I don't care about it. Not at all. Go get a Super Bowl. And the social media team making stupid Beetlejuice commercials or, Better Call Saul. Like, I can't stand these people doing this. If it's not the stupid cartoons, I get other Pop-Tart horseshit things that I don't understand, and it just pisses me off. Can I just get the score?
I was entertained by it. I enjoyed it.
I can't. It makes me nauseous because they don't care if we win or lose. They just want to put out their stupid videos that the kids who have no allegiance or any
they're
brains.
doing their job. They're doing their job.
No, keep it.
He's going to start missing field goals after that.
Keep it. Oh, I'd be pissed.
And it's right.
Well,
exactly.
I am worried about the jinx a little bit. Showing the other guys miss.
That wasn't very smart. Eric, last one before we will let you leave. Again, thank you so much. Blue Dream has a genuine question for you.
Sure.
He says, last question for Eric is genuinely, how has he been? He had to cover some pretty brutal years towards the end of his stint with the team. His guest appearance on the Chargers pod circuit is refreshing.
I'm still healthy. I didn't become an alcoholic, so that's good. It didn't lead to drinking. I feel good. I'm working at Fox for 3 years now and love my gig and love, continuing to coach or continuing to cover the NFL and still being in Southern California. So life is good.
Does Eric know about the Gilberto curse?
Of course he does. Of course he does. He knows it.
I don't.
Is Dan's going to inform him?
You do know about the Gilberto curse. What are you talking about?
Is he the Grim Reaper?
Yeah, he is. He kills teams. All your teams in dream. I want you to understand this, okay? I want you to understand what this man has done, okay? For like 5 or 6 weeks,
and to God.
maybe more. I swear to God, yeah. To my Lord and Savior. This is for real. No joke. For 5 or 6 weeks, maybe longer, he had the Lions at number 1 on his power rankings. Guess what happened every week to the Lions that they were number 1? They lost a defensive player to injury every single week without fail. It was unbelievable. Then you see what he does when he covers my team.
What about the Minnesota Vikings?
Oh, you know what was his bold prediction for Minnesota? That they'd be 3-13. They're now at 12 wins or whatever. And that one's been pretty bad for him. So
the Cardinals,
then his Cardinals, his Houston
Bears,
his Bears, then the Raiders. Don't get me started. They're a playoff team in his mind. It's unbelievable, dude.
Well, I think I got Gil talked because I've covered 2 teams that have relocated to different cities. So maybe I'm the ultimate Grim Reaper.
That's not you. You're a good person. He's not. You're a great person. You're the best. Don't you dare pull yourself down to his level. No.
Uncle
Let the scum be down there.
Knew that about Dan. It's official. Dan is wearing his pants pulled up, old man style, and yelling "Get off my lawn" to kids in the
I
neighborhood.
100%. I hate half of these kids.
I co-sign on that.
I hate
Eric,
half of these kids doing their
Do you
stupid
feel
thing.
good about your bet going into the rest of the season?
I was waiting for you to bring up, and I do feel good about that bet. I'm ready to order my pizza from Woodstocks.
You were so high.
I'm going to be there covering the Rams week 18 when they clinch their postseason berth, when they beat the me pizza.
Wow. So they have to beat them in week 18, the Hawks, to clinch probably?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, they have the Jets and then Cardinals.
That's poetic justice.
Seahawks at home.
That's poetic justice. Your hometown's going to secure my bet, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Go Hawks. I was going to say, by the way, did you see the lame-ass story about some reporter pissing his pants because Dan Campbell said too many F words in a post-game video?
Oh, no, I didn't see
These
that.
guys are so lame, dude. Do you get bothered when people say F words in post-game videos?
I'm still talking to you, Daniel. So
exactly. That's why you're my favorite. Do you see this? That's why you're my favorite. I love Eric. Eric's the best. Everybody go follow him. Go follow his work. Absolutely amazing. But it was just hilarious to me that all of a sudden now we want to regulate what people say in the locker room after the game, after a victory. It's so crazy. And Tony Dungy, oh, yeah, here we go. I challenge NFL head coaches to give post-game locker room without using the F word in every sentence. What a loser. That's unbelievable to me. Unless he's being sarcastic, which, like, okay, maybe a little witty, maybe a little funny. And Tony Dungy, who I respect, I lost a little bit. He's over here clutching his pearls and crying about it also. It's unbelievable to me. Like, dude, I'm not worried about what he says. I hope he says more F words now just to really piss these two off. But
I used to be a colleague of Andrew's when I had Brand when I was at ESPN, and good dude, smart guy. I've met Tony a couple times, and
sure.
good
I'm
people.
Sure
but
sure.
I think Andrew may have been a little tongue in cheek there.
Does that mean sarcastic or?
Yes.
Okay, well, he needs to do a better job of letting me know he's sarcastic, so I don't care.
change the thought.
Something like that to me just seems so soft. And the problem was Dungy played along, and he was probably for real, clutching his pearls up there. And I'm like, dude, like, this isn't for the faint of heart. I don't know how to tell people this. The sport isn't for children if you don't like violence, and it's just not for the faint of heart. Stop being soft.
That was so fun. Do you not like F-bomb? He's like, I'm still talking to you, Dan.
Exactly. That's why you're the GOAT.
Amazing. That is Eric D. Williams. Eric, thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow, probably around 12:15, 12. Yeah, right around there. So we'll text each other, and we'll have our usual drive up to Inglewood. But appreciate you jumping on the show. Thank you so much, Eric.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care,
You're
Daniel.
the best. You're the best. I can't wait till Seattle helps me out.
I don't want to hear that.
That was Eric D. Williams. Thank you so much to him for jumping on with us. Dan, I was going to end the show there, but I do have something for you.
Oh, do you have more bullshit that's going to piss me off?
I do.
By the way, everybody, don't forget to smash like button. Now I'm goddamn tongue-tied because you're pissing me off with these things. Don't forget to smash the like button. Help us out. Smash the like button. Be a compa, tell a compa, and leave a comment. Shout out to all you watching.
All right, Dan.
What could you possibly have now? Sure, Nick, send it. It doesn't mean I'll answer, but send it. Let's see what you got. I can't hear it. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what this little nerd is saying. That's the guy who's like, I could talk all day about drafts.
So basically,
like the 2004 draft and da-da-da-da-da.
So basically what he said, what he's asking is he's saying, well, yeah, this Harbaugh experiment is great and everything, but why but Brandon Staley could have beat the teams that Harbaugh's beaten so far.
Is he serious?
That's what he said.
I swear, dude, like the narratives these people like to pick. And you know what? That guy's probably just pissing his pants because he's. Look to see what Nick put for.
I can't.
We can't talk.
We cannot talk about that.
Yeah, that's it. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one, Nick. I'll give you that. But it's so idiotic to me. Let me look who they played. You're talking about last year, right? I don't think they played anybody that crazy last year. They lost to the Ravens in a tight game, but Robert, I love your comment. That's hilarious. What was last year? Chargers schedule. What was last year? Would last year be 23? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
How did they do it a year behind? Let's see. Are you kidding? They lost to the Raiders. What are we even talking about? Stay in browser. Let's see this. They got blown out by the Raiders. What are they even talking about? Okay, let's see. Packers, tight game. Tight game with the Lions. They had more scoring. Vikings, they lost. They lost one-score games to all these people. Then they got blown out, obviously. Yeah, that guy's just an idiot, dude. Like, I'm so tired of a lot of these people, man. They just love running their mouths about things they don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. My God.
There was one more thing I had. Oh, I do have something for you, Dan, of course. I have two things for you, and then we can head out of here.
Oh, God.
Did you hear what Dan Campbell said on a local radio station?
Dan Campbell? Oh, play it. I did hear it, and I loved it.
You know, what happens is you get used to eating filet, and I'm talking to all of us, and everything's good. Life's good, you know, but you forgot what it was like when you had nothing and you ate your fucking molded bread.
I love it.
You know, just fine. And he gave you everything you needed. And
you can't play the rest of it or what?
Oh, that was the only clip that I had.
No. Oh. He says another one later, but that's exactly what you want out of your head coach. He's genuine. He's not like these, to use the cheese-eating bastard's almighty LaFleur as an example. That bastard seems so fake and weird. Just has his eyebrows dialed up and picked and everything, and so he looks nice, crisp, and clean, and looks like a head coach, and computers and all these different things. And he's genuine, dude. I love Dan Campbell.
Alex, I think they would be. I think they'd only have one win right now, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Like these guys, I don't know what it is about them hating on Herbert and Harbaugh. Like they're acting like he didn't just come off winning a natty, but I'm sure everybody would.
There's an individual that gets a lot of hate, just like you do. An individual that gets a lot of hate, but he had a lot of praise for your head coach and your quarterback. Let's hear what he had to say.
It takes time to fix a culture. It takes time to change a mindset. Sometimes, certain guys can come in and kind of put their stamp on it in a year or two, but some places need more than that. Obviously, it didn't seem like
a lot more.
LA Chargers. I was
Jeez,
San Diego.
old.
They kind of just needed, a slight little adjustment, obviously, and Coach Harbaugh and the way he coaches has got those guys playing well. Justin's having a great year.
Exactly.
So sometimes it doesn't take a lot of time, but sometimes it takes a couple of years to kind of reset everything and get things moving back in the right direction. You got to have patience with that. Fan base got to have patience. Ownership got to have patience. Front office got to have patience.
You talked about Sheila Ford Ham up there in Detroit. I mean, that's a perfect example of finding their guy and everybody being aligned and supportive publicly, even in the hard times. That's why the Lions are seemingly benefiting from all of that now. But MCDC turned out to be a guy.
Yeah.
And Holmes turned out to be a guy. If you have that patience and they're not, that's when the predicament begins. Look,
100%. It took Dan Campbell.
McAfee.
Shout out. It took Dan Campbell like 2 years to turn that thing around. Then they started winning. Like, was it no, it was 2 years ago, I think, when they missed the playoffs. And he basically said in the locker room pregame, because the Packers were winning, you're in. And he was basically like, fuck it, man. If we're not going, they're not going. We're going to take their ass out. And that was like, I remember getting goosebumps from hearing that. And, that's the mentality you want in a team. And I think, like I said, it just takes time, Yeah, 100%. Like Tom says here, after our next draft and free agency, we're going to be cooking with Crisco. 100%. You have the advantage that Harbaugh was recently in college, so he's going to know all these guys. You have the advantage that people want to play for Harbaugh, so they're going to want to come to the team. Who's not going to want to play with the son of Odin? So everything's working in the right direction. It just, again, is going to take time. because
Yeah.
right now they don't have the team that they want. They just pieced it together, 1 year rentals. And I think you said this even in free agency from last year when they hired him, or maybe before training camp or whatever. You were basically like, this is, if you notice, he hasn't handed out money. He hasn't handed out contracts. They're all 1 year rentals to see what's going to happen. Next year's the year they're going to jump forward, and probably take a big step. So right now, you just got to hunker down and sit tight, and we just got to wait to see what's going to happen.
No, I completely agree with that, Dan. And that's why I wanted to show you that clip, because obviously patience is going to be key, and we'll see what happens. But again, thank you guys so much. Actually, I do want to show you this last thing. For all the people out there that say that, well, I'll show you the first part and then I'll show you the second part. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be funny.
Oh, Tom, I can't wait. 100 million caps.
I don't drink or do drugs. Bros be like, do you get it?
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, that because I don't drink or do drugs, I drink a lot of soda. Yeah, and
No,
that's
yeah,
wine,
but you could get
that's
messed
a
up
wine
doing that.
cooler or whatever. What?
Well, no, that's what they're saying. Like they're saying I don't drink or do drugs. Like I'm healthy, but then they drink a lot of soda. So they're basically
yeah.
But hold on.
I'm good to
Listen
go,
here, though.
baby. I'm firing on all cylinders. I
There
love
is no
that.
credible scientific evidence that consuming diet soda in moderation has any negative health impacts whatsoever. Isn't that right, Dan?
Exactly. I remember I saw a video of a guy who said you basically have to drink like 48 sodas a day or some crazy number to really affect yourself negatively. So guess what, baby? I'm slinging that some bitch back until the Grim Reaper comes for me.
I agree with you, Dan. All right, Dan,
Sponsor
just
your
real
boy,
quick,
Coca-Cola. Sponsor
give me
your
your
boy.
X Factor.
X Factor is going to be, I think, the three guards. I'll just go. Fuck it. I'll just go with the offensive line. I think they're going to be the X Factor. I think if you can slow down their rush, if you can open some running lanes, you don't have to play hero ball. You don't have to do something amazing, but just do your job. Do your job. Cover people up. Work to the next level. They're going to be the ones, if they win or lose, that's going to be it right there. Because you can't have Herbert taking abuse anymore.
I have on the opposite side. I have four.
Robert
Joey
D. I
Bosa,
like Diet Pepsi also.
I have Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Bud Dupree, and Tuli.
Oh yeah, so we both
They
picked
need to come up
trenches.
huge.
Yeah,
All
No.
four of them need to come up huge.
was that not one of the greatest entrances?
It's one of the greatest
ever.
entrances
Like
of all time. Again, we want to thank, dude. I can't believe it. We started early today, like at 1:00, and we have
Yeah.
a bunch of people in here. We definitely appreciate everybody who's jumped in here. You guys are the best. Thank you to Blue Dream. Thank you to Alex. Thank you to Robert D. Thank you to Tom. Thank you to Dennis. Thank you to Jose.
Robert D. You're right.
Elabes. Thank you to Nick. Thank you to Robert M. Uncle Jam's Army. Hilberto's Weekly Fact or Fiction just came out, Dan.
Let me print it out so I have something to
Angel.
wipe my ass with.
Thank you to Jorge. Thank you to everybody else who commented. You guys are the best. Everybody, please pound the like button before we leave. You guys are amazing. Jam Army says that you're elite, Dan.
Oh no, we're not elite. Or what is the thing for AEW? Isn't it elite or is it all elite?
We're the
Okay,
best.
so we're good. We're good with this saying. Thank you,
Yeah.
Blue Dream. We're
Yeah.
good. We are elite then. I'll take it. I was worried I
Thank
was
you to
gonna get
everybody who
pinned,
jumped on. Guys, make sure, I know it's going to be late, but please make sure you guys jump in here at around 9:10. We should be getting started on the show. So make sure you guys tune in after the game so that we can break it all down. You guys are the best. Thank you
Later,
guys so
Robert
much.
D.
Don't forget to smash the like button. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and we'll be here after the game, and then it'll be a little bit of a break for us. We won't come back till next Thursday when we do a preview for the Patriots game, and we're gonna have a special guest for that one too. So make sure you guys are excited. We'll talk all things Patriots. Dan, I'll even let you ask this individual about where Bill Belichick might go to while he's at UNC. So
Alpha Data or Alpha Phi. He's going to go to Alpha Phi.
Okay, we appreciate you guys so much. Dan, get us out of here.
Be a compa, tell a compa, like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to all you. Let's have a great freaking weekend. Go attack